Live in all the right places. All the lives, all the places. Hi, Carlen is coming in hot tonight, my friends. Coming in hot tonight. All right. We're live. Hi, I love you. Hi. Follow me at carlen.costa at hi Carlen, HICARLEN. Hi. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hi Carlen. We're about to start the show, so if you're watching this live right now, thank you for being here. We're going to get started in just a minute. Get your comments ready. Get ready to call 8777-CARLEN and ask me all the things about sex, love, relationships, mental wellness. Tonight we're going to talk about dating, though, so it's going to be fun. And as soon as we're ready, we're going to get this party started, friends. So get comfortable, because we're going to get this party started. Jackie is awesome. Yes. Hello and welcome. All right. Are you ready, team? Awesome, awesome. Hello and welcome to Hi Carlen, your favorite call-in lifestyle show about everything sex, love, relationships, and mental wellness. I'm Carlen Costa, a clinical sexologist and psychotherapist, and I love that you're here. Each week, I invite you to tune in live to our Wellness Wonderland and learn some stuff about you, your relationships, and how to make your life better. Let's talk everything from self-pleasure to infidelity to cannabis to weird sex facts you won't be able to stop sharing in your group chat. Want to be part of the show? This is a live call-in show, guys. This is a live call-in show, and I want you to call in our hotline at our toll-free number, 877-7-CARLEN. And Arthur is here in the studio with us today, and he might help me give you the best advice that money can buy for free. And if you can't get through our hotline this week, hit me up on my Instagram at HiCarlen, HICARLEN, or my website, carlencosta.com, and submit some questions that I can answer on my date at a later feed. Because who doesn't want to ask a sex doctor, a sexologist, a psychotherapist, everything about their lives? You know what I'm saying, team? I think so. So today's episode is a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it because today's episode is all about dating. And people now more than ever are looking to settle down. But if you're single or looking to be, what does that mean for you? How many people out there are single and watching right now? Comment on it. I can see the comments coming through on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. There's some people coming through here as well. And if you want it anytime, like I said, give us a call, 877-7-CARLEN. And let's talk about dating. Let's talk about your experiences on dating apps, because this world is really interesting and people on dating apps are even more interesting. And as a psychotherapist, as a single psychotherapist, also in the dating world, just throwing that out there, I am seeing firsthand, not only from my patients, but my own experiences getting out there and trying to meet people. I think that during the pandemic, we witnessed many divorces and breakups. And in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see more. Once people's nervous systems start to calm down, you will actually start to see a slow burn of uncoupling happen here too. I think currently a lot of people are in a high state of trauma. So if you're getting ghosted, if you're getting shelved, if people are just disappearing from you, I'm calling that out to be trauma, is what I'm saying. But eventually we're gonna snap out of it. Because singles, you're not alone in experience the strangeness of dating, investing, and coupling, okay? The dating scene has changed, and it's probably for the better, in my opinion. The rise of the pre-date because of the boom of sex tech and technology has dramatically shifted how we communicate and what we do with it, right? So some of you who are watching, you remember dating. You remember getting like dialing a phone. I remember dialing a phone and having a cord come out and like hiding in my parents' bedroom and hoping that my little sister wouldn't pick up the phone while I talked to my crush. You know what I mean? That was 16 for me. And now we have dating apps. We've got Tinder, we've got Hinge, we've got Bumble, we've got Grindr, we've got Thrinder. You want to know what Thrinder is? maybe send a little comment on any of our feeds or give me a call and we'll talk about it. But there's so many different dating apps, and I want to talk to you about what to do and what not to do on a dating app as well. All right. But one of the things we are seeing that has changed because of the boom of sex tech is the pre-date. A video chat. The video chat is now the new coffee date and is part of a broader trend towards the so-called slow or intentional dating that has developed over the last couple years. 50% of first dates now start with a video or voice call. Most people are seeking to date or link up, but less people are looking to just do it for fun. And that's one of the biggest things that we have seen shift over the last couple years. Being single and dating today means going for a dog walk or an activity that you would otherwise do with a friend. Also sending voice notes or making a FaceTime video call date before meeting in real life. Most people today are opting for getting to know someone first to make sure that we're on the same page. And if you're actually looking to get serious. The truth is, people's social lives have sucked, right? Like your past couple years of your social life have not been that fun, right? So when our social lives are not fulfilling, the last thing that people want to do, or the last thing that we actually have left to barter when we're dating, is trying to find someone to be vulnerable with, is your vulnerability. Which for me, as a professional in this space, signals more codependent relationships, more falling in love with narcissists, more love bombing, more emotional dysregulation, but at least catfishing is now avoided. So that's what I'm saying to you is going to be the big shift. So what do you think? Are you single now because of the pandemic? Did spending that much time together wedge a space between you and your intimate relationships? Were you headed for divorce or separation and the pandemic may have just exacerbated your problems? And if you're single, are you ready to get into a relationship yet? Let's go to the comments and see what's cooking in the comments. What do you guys think? If you're single out there and dating, what has changed for you? Have your tastes changed? Have you recognized who you're attracted to has changed? How you interact with dating apps, has that changed for you? Any comments coming through on Facebook or YouTube and asking us all the questions about dating. Talk to me about it, guys, because like I'm on the dating apps right now and I would love for somebody to give me a call. 877-7-Carlen, toll free, completely free phone call. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about your experience on the dating apps. Are you actually connecting with people? Are you going on first dates? Are you newly single and now you're trying to figure out how to date? You know what I mean? How many people out there are learning how to be on dating apps for the first time, right? I have like a few rules about dating, just in case some of you are thinking about what to ask me right now. But I have a few rules about dating apps. I have a few things that make me automatically swipe right. Is right wrong? Right? Is the right wrong? Is right? No, left is wrong. Right is right. At least they figured that out. Because I haven't. But dating apps have been so interesting. And especially, I just moved from London to Toronto. So I'm even experiencing like a whole new population of humanity that I didn't realize existed. And it has been a lot of fun. So what do I look for in a dating app? What do you maybe want to look for in a dating app? Well, let's start with having an authentic bio, right? Showing off your personality. If your bio is boring, I'm not going to care. Or if your bio doesn't give you like a glimpse into who you are, even just like a little bit, I'm not going to care, right? I want to see your authentic self. Another thing that I look for on a dating app is good photos with variability. Okay, so there's a lot of guys, no offense, I love you guys the most, I really, really do. But there are a lot of guys out there who have these dating apps, have these photos where it's like this angle from down here and I see like more of their underbeard than I see of their actual face. You know what I mean, guys? I don't know if any of you are seeing this or experiencing any of this. Also, guys, I got to give you a tip. This is for you. I am trying to help you get laid, I promise, okay? But when you guys are building your apps, when you're building your profiles, not your apps, your profile, remember who you're trying to sell yourself to, right? I have this conversation. I actually went on dating apps over the winter because I was like, I got to see what people are doing. And I was literally coaching guys on Tinder about how to make their profile better because it was crazy. I was like, guys, you're building your dating apps to appeal to other guys and not to women or potential partners, right? That's what I'm seeing from my experience because I'm looking for other men. So it's like, I need you to think about what a woman would want to talk about because I don't care about your fish. I don't care about your hunt and I don't care about your truck. I care like if you have friends. I care if you do some fun hobbies, but I don't need to see the dead fish, you know, in the photo. Like that's maybe the line there a little bit. It's a joke on the internet all the time, friends. Okay. I also need you to post pictures that are not just you and your buddies, right? There's a lot of pictures out there. Like if I find a profile and it's just all these pictures of guys and groups of guys, I don't know which one you are. And if I have to scroll to like the 6th picture, I'm probably just going to swipe now. Because then by then I'm bored. You've lost my attention. I'm just saying, I don't make the rules. I just tell you how attraction works, my friends, okay? So, talk to me about your experiences on the dating apps. And if you've been on a dating app, have any weird stories happened to you while you've been on a dating app? Has a celebrity ever reached out to you while on a dating app? Have you ever had like a secret celebrity come out? Like, and I'm not even a celebrity, but I know that sometimes guys get surprised when I message them back. They're like, are you real? I'm like, I am real. I'm a sex doctor who talks about weed. I'm very real. I'm a dream come true, in fact. So, that's what I'm experiencing over here, my friends, all right? The other thing about dating apps that I'm finding is everyone's just on there for sex. I think this winter was a hard one and people are just trying to get laid, but you have to be honest with people, right? We got to talk about ghosting. We got to talk about shelving. We got to talk about what love bombing is and all of that kind of stuff. Give me a call, 877-7-Carlen. Reach out. And are there any comments, social media team, on any of our streams right now? What are you guys thinking? What are you talking about? Hello to the dating world. I'm a MILF. Somebody just called me a MILF. I don't have kids, so I'm a cougar, baby. Just throwing that out there. Cougars, I posted actually this really great reel this week about women, older women dating younger men, which I love is like the trend of dating right now. I don't know about you, but if you are a younger guy looking for older women, you're in luck because there's a ton of really hot women in their late 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, just looking to link up with some young studs. I think that is such a fun thing that we're seeing happen in the dating world right now because that's what sex tech does. Sex tech allows us to connect with people that you wouldn't necessarily just run into in the grocery store. Although I have totally picked up at the grocery store. Where's some of the fun places that you guys have picked up? I've picked up at the grocery store. The dog park, that was really fun. The dog park is a great place to pick up, just saying. Give us a call, 877 7, Carlen, let's talk about your dating app nightmares. Let's talk about your dating stories. Let's talk about what it's... All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, caller. You're live on the air.
How's it going, Goddess?
Hi, it's good. It's good. Who am I talking to?
This is your girl, Ashley.
Ashley. Hey, Ashley. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Hi, Carlen. What do you have on your mind today, babe?
All right, so let's talk about some dating green flags.
Dating green flags.
Right? We're
Yeah.
used to the red flags. Let's talk about the green flags. So, newly getting back into the dating scene after taking a hiatus.
Okay, welcome back to the party.
Thanks. It's interesting, right?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And people start seeing some green flags with someone that you're dating, and all the things you have been looking for, but because you've been out of it for so long, you start to panic on it because you're so used to finding the red flags, not the green ones.
Yep.
How are we dealing with that? How are we getting back into that?
You know what? I love this question. This is a really, really great question, right? Like, how do you... Essentially what you're asking me is, how do I feel safe? How do I trust to date again right now, especially if you've been out of the game? So, Ashley, how long have you been out of the game for?
Ooh, let's say 3 years.
3 years you've been single, doing your thing, living your best life, and now you're ready to start dating again. So
Got it.
Talk to me about why you're ready to start dating again.
Because I think I'm approaching it entirely differently now. I think that I have figured out what at this stage in my life I'm looking for.
Yep.
And I'm feeling a lot more comfortable in asking for it and picking and choosing. There's no desperation behind it. It's more fun now than anything.
Okay, that's already the first way that you can start to kind of break down the barriers and break down your walls, is to shift your mindset from dating for like, I have to date for a husband or a wife. I have to date with this intention of like settling down, and starting to date by having fun, right? Dating is supposed to be fun. So that's the first way that you can start to shift, so you can see the green flags and really also start to ground your nervous system so that you can respond to people in a more positive way. So what are some things...
And then when
oh, sorry?
I was going to say, when those green flags start popping up and you're like, yeah, this is everything that I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then you start to panic, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference, right? Why do we want those certain things? And people tick the boxes and you're like, oh, now I'm going to panic.
Absolutely. And now, well, that's your work, right? Oh, someone else is calling through the line. We're going to, sorry, Ashley, if I'm cutting out. We got someone else calling. If you're calling through, give us a second. I'm just going to finish up this call with our lovely Ashley on the line, and then give me a call back in a minute. All right, friends? But Ashley, so how do you, well, first let's talk about what the green flags are. So if we can identify what the green flags are, then we can start to actually become more comfortable when they come up. So things like, they treat others well. So service staff or strangers, or, even homeless people on the street, right? Like, people who treat other people well will also treat you well. Another dating green flag is that their words and their behaviors align. So are they good managers of their time? Are they showing up for the dates? Are they explaining to you or texting you or sending you messages, when things have to change, right? But are their words and their behaviors aligning? And that's one of the harder green flags, especially if you have, some gunk, some emotional gunk that you're trying to kind of work through, right? It's paying attention really to that one. Another green flag is, and I actually love this green flag, and this is a really great test that I implore, especially, anybody to try, but especially women, but this definitely for men, women, and all genders in between. If you really want to test a green flag in your date, is say no to them during a date, and say it like a few times. Practicing saying no during a date will get you to see how that person is going to respond as soon as you set a hard boundary. How does that feel for you?
That's an interesting one. Yeah, definitely.
Have you ever tried that one?
Not intentionally,
Yeah.
but I've definitely done it. I would say that is a very telling fail for sure.
Yeah, especially when you say no, like you say no to anything. But if you're starting to notice that they're pushing sex a little too soon before you're comfortable with it, right? Start saying no to sex.
Right.
And bring up the conversation with these guys and say, hey, listen, I'm all for whatever you're here for, but this is what my intentions of chatting with you are. Are you just here for sex? Or are you here for dating? Are you here to keep it casual? Are you here because you're looking for somebody? Right? So continuing to check in and just like being honest and just like planting that seed, being like, listen, bro, I'm here because I'm looking for someone to have fun with, or I'm looking for someone to create something with, or I'm looking just to get laid. Right. I'm DTF, like Kim Kardashian. You know what I mean? Kim Kardashian hooked up with Pete because he or she heard about his BDE and she was DTF. So I am here for that energy. But you have to make sure that the other person is as well.
Absolutely. And that can change person to person, week to week.
Yes, absolutely. So do you feel more ready to maybe go on a few more dates, Ashley?
Yeah, loving it.
Loving it. Awesome. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you. And thank you for being part of the show.
Have a great evening. Thanks, Goddess.
Thank you. And whoever else was calling in, give me a call again. I'm sorry, guys. We can only take one call at a time. And thank you for everybody for calling in, being here. 877-7-Carlen. Toll-free call. It's not going to cost you anything. It's an online phone. Everything is free. We're talking about your dating nightmares, your dating stories. Are you ready to date? Are you one of those couples that got divorced over the pandemic? I want to hear about how that is for you, because a majority of single Americans and Canadians are actually off the dating market. 56% say they're not looking for a relationship or casual dates, but 44% are looking. 32% say they're only looking for a committed relationship, and 16% are looking for casual dates. But about half are open to either relationship or dates. And that's like the vibe, I think, right now, is that people are really trying to figure out what they're open to, right? How about you? What have you found out there? Have you had any dating app nightmares happen for you? I know that there's some crazy stories out there. I'm just saying, there's been some crazy. I had this one guy this one time, and he just kept messaging me hello, and like then he'd disappear for a day, and then he'd come back and just message hello again. And I was like, I don't understand what we're missing here, right? Like he just kind of kept saying hello over and over again. And I was like, what is going on? Or have you been catfished? I love hearing a good catfish story. But that's why phone calls, video calls, and phone calls are now the new coffee dates, because too many people were getting catfished like crazy, right? And that's what happens. We talked about some dating green flags. We're going to talk about some dating red flags also. And some dating red flags look like this: love bombing, inconsistent behaviors not aligning with words, ghosting or shelving you with communication, ignoring your boundaries, people who badmouth their exes or friends, and who don't introduce you to their friends either, right? Like that's a red flag. You don't have to meet mom and dad right away, because like we don't need to meet mom and dad right away. But if you've been on a few dates with this person and they haven't made any attempt to introduce you to any part of their lives, that might be a red flag. What do you guys think? Give us a call now on our toll-free number, 877-7-Carlen, CARLEN, 877. What is it, team? 877-722-7536. Yeah, 877-722-7536. Give us a call on our toll-free number. Let me know about your dating stories, being single, navigating the world now in these days. Social media team, do we have any new comments on our Facebook going off? Anything coming through by chance? You guys are watching, but nobody's calling. I don't know how you want me to do a live call-in show, my loves. I need you to give me a call. Tell me your stories. Use a fake name, 877-7-Carlen. We're talking about dating green flags, dating red flags, dating post-divorce, dating post-breakups. And this pandemic population of singles is looking past also small talks and wants to find someone to lock down in their personal lives. Actually, a statistic that I was just reading the other day is that a lot of millennials, and who's the generation before millennials? Do we remember, what are they, the Gen Zers? Gen Z, are they the younger than millennials? Yeah, okay, so the one statistic that I'm actually reading a lot about is that Gen Zers are having less sex than there's too many generations, than millennials. I'm just going to say that. Especially as horny elder millennials. I consider myself a horny elder millennial. And Gen Zers are definitely having less sex than us. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's because people are busy these days, if people are so focused on technology or what's going on. But I also think it has to do with this revolution in sex tech and how people are using these apps and using FaceTime and technology to connect with people before they actually meet them. And I think that that's leading people to have this like bigger vetting process, right? What about celebrities, you know? Like, I want to get on that celebrity dating app. There's that celebrity that they all hang out on, and for some reason the name is escaping me, and I can't think of it right now. Can we think of it, team? What's that celebrity dating app that everybody's on that someone needs to send me an invite to? Just saying. It would be really, really great. But there are so many apps, and a lot of people are on Tinder. A lot of people are on Bumble. Bumble became this incredible billion-dollar app that really empowered women. To take these first steps. But I'm not going to lie, I'm a Tinder girl. I like Tinder. I like it how it's a little bit dark and dirty in that space. I'm not going to lie to you, right? And it's a lot of fun. And that celebrity app I was just talking about is called Raya. I need to get an invite. If you know anybody on that app, send Wendy. My team just told me Wendy Williams is on it. If anybody has a link to Wendy Williams to send me an invite to Raya, send it over. I don't care. I'm still manifesting becoming Khloe Kardashian's therapist, so that's still on my list. Is what's happening here. But guys, let's talk about some terms that we need to know in this new dating world. Okay, so let's talk about some ways that we can identify red flags. And some of the new language looks like this. Love bombing. What is love bombing? You hear that word fly around Instagram. You hear it on social media all the time, but what is it? Well, love bombing, and I'm going to give you the precise definition here. Love bombing is the action or practice of lavishing someone with attention or affection, especially in order to influence or manipulate them. So at the beginning of getting to know each other, this is what it might look like. You might view this person as charming and really attentive, and this person will praise you so much. They'll tell you they adore you. They'll often seem emotionally attached to you really, really quickly, right? So this is a big red flag. It's not to say that you don't want to connect with people, that kind of thing doesn't happen. But what it does say is that if you find that someone is getting way more attached to you quicker than they are, but then they're also adoring you, they're telling you that they love you and it's only been a few days, they're buying you all these gifts, they're making future plans for you 6 months down the road, you've only been on 3 dates, my friends, that's love bombing. All right, that's what that looks like, and that is a red flag. The other term I want to talk to you about is ghosting. Ghosting is a relatively new term just in the past few years, and it is a dating term that refers to abruptly cutting off contact with someone without giving that person any warning or explanation for doing so. Ghosting. There is so much controversy about ghosting and what it means and what it looks like, and is ghosting ever okay? Is it not okay? Right? And I don't think we have figured that out. If you connect with somebody on a dating app and you say hello and it's been, a day or two, and you're just, you look back at the profile again and you're like, I'm not feeling this. Or, you don't hear from them, so you unmatch them. Is that ghosting? Is that bad ghosting? Is that good ghosting? Is that boundaries? Like, what is that? Is that just, just you don't want to be in that space with that person anymore, right? I think the thing with ghosting is if you have created a relationship with somebody where you their name, you've hung out with them, or you've had even a video phone chat with them, and then you disappear, I think that's when ghosting really kicks in. I think everything else before that is kind of like figuring it all out, but after that, that's ghosting. And then a new term that I talked about on my Instagram this week is shelving. Shelving. For those of you who haven't heard of shelving, this is a really interesting communication phenomenon. Shelving is the act of chatting someone up in a way that suggests something more is going to happen in real life, but then using work obligations to avoid making definitive plans to meet offline. You know who I'm talking about. Let me explain this to you and what this looks like. This looks like you've been on a dating app, you connect with somebody, you're like, hey, winky face emoji. They come back to you, they're like, hey, hand wave emoji, right? And then you talk and, you have some conversations and you're like, okay, one of you says to each other, maybe we should meet. Maybe we should have a FaceTime video. Maybe we should do something like that, right? And maybe you exchange like WhatsApp numbers, that type of thing. And then just the meet never happens. You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden everyone is always busy, or, they're really preoccupied with work all the time. You're being shelved, babe. You're being put on the shelf to be taken down to play with when they've got time for you, when they have nothing else more exciting going on. That's shelving. It's really interesting. It's a really interesting new phenomenon that we see happening with dating apps. And if you're watching right now, give us a call at our toll-free number, 877-7-Carlen, and let's talk about your experience in dating apps, being single, dating after divorce, my loves. Ooh, dating after divorce. We've got a few minutes left. Tune in at any time. Even send us a comment. And let's talk about some of your experiences. Any of the comments, live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we're talking about all things dating right now. You know what story I love? I actually love the story. I was just reading this week. Speaking of celebrities that we were talking about earlier, and like the Raya app and all of that stuff, and like how do celebrities meet each other? And, you have to call an agent, and you have to call a manager, and you have to do all the things. But like, I love the story of how Pete Davidson asked Megan Fox for Kim Kardashian's number, and she refused to give it to him. And she like cock blocked him pretty hard, and then that happened, and now they're actually dating. So you see, sometimes you just got to go through another avenue. If you find somebody attractive, if you find that you can be compatible with somebody, sometimes it really is just about timing. Sometimes some people just have to get their stuff together, just have to get your shit together, and then get ready to date. Not everybody is always dating. And if you have been recently out of a big relationship, oh, we've got a call coming through. Welcome, caller number 2. You're live.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, who am I speaking to?
It's Victoria.
Hi, Maria. Welcome to Hi, Carlen. How can I help you tonight?
So I have a question about my ex. Him and I have a pretty cordial relationship. We have children.
Okay.
But I need advice on how to handle him bringing his next fling around the kids. They've met, I don't know how many women, and he doesn't stay with them too long. Can you give me some advice on how I can have the conversation with him about maybe toning that down? I don't really think it's appropriate.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? Is it appropriate? I don't know.
So, okay, this is a great question. This actually is applicable to so many people out there. So there's a lot of people out there who share kids, shared custody, co-parenting, And what, if I understand what the question is you're asking me is, how do I handle my ex and all of his new partners coming around my kids? Is that what? Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you, what bothers you the most about that?
So I think it's the connection that these kids are making with a partner, but then, I mean, they're out of his life so quick, right? So it's not like a serious relationship. It's flings.
Okay. So have you addressed this with your ex?
I have.
And
it's still happening.
Okay.
So maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Maybe you are doing it wrong. So talk to me about like what you said to your ex.
That, can you not bring your next fling around the kids? Wait until you form a strong relationship with that person before you bring them around the kids. I don't really think it's appropriate. The kids make that connection. I don't like that because then they're gone.
Okay. And what does he say?
And it's okay, but it's still happening.
Okay, so what is obviously happening is your ex sounds like he is in an anxious attachment mode. So because he's in an anxious attachment mode, to him and what he's experiencing from an emotional intelligence perspective is he's finding these new people. He's, anxious, so he's like excited. He's trying to get them in there, and he's trying to create this life that it sounds like he's trying to go after. Not that we're trying to justify your ex's behaviors, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of context as to what is kind of motivating your ex, right? So he's in an anxious attachment mode. So part of the conversation then with you and your ex has to be about the impact on the kids and how you guys are going to form like a co-parenting narrative around people that you date, right? Whether you're dating new people, whether he's dating new people, and you have to kind of come to this agreement as to what that's going to look like. And sometimes that can look like firm numbers, right? So you may want to say to him, hey, I love that you're dating. I love that you're out there. Like, good for you. Let's get laid. And, I think a reasonable timeline for you to introduce women to our kids is like 6 months. Like, I would love for you to be with somebody for 6 months and then feel free to like introduce the kids to your partners. You know what I mean? If you can maybe set a concrete number, they may be able to respond to that, because if you just leave it kind of up in the air, then they're just going to interpret it as like, yeah, okay, 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Sounds great. I gave it time. Right?
Okay. Are there any key words you think I should be using to help guide that conversation?
Yeah, for sure. So keywords is so specific timing for sure. So saying something like 6 months, I think, is a reasonable timeline. Also things like talking about how this impacts the attachment for your kids. Okay. Oh, we got another call coming through. Please, caller, just hold on and give us a call back in a minute. No, it's all right, caller. You're still on the line, Maria. And also talking about, we talked about timeline. We talked about using keywords. Thank you. Sorry, it's like my brain totally just got distracted, team. I'm so sorry, guys. We're live, and this is how it's going. And then you want to talk to them about how this impacts the kids, right? And about what that can lead, how that can show up as attachment to them. Because if you give your partner examples of like, hey, our kid came home today and talked to me about this, and now they're sad this weekend because now that person is like no longer in our lives, and that is disrupting our kids. It's disrupting their mental health. It's also important though for you as the co-parent to continue to have conversations with your kids and talking about what dating is, what dating as an adult is, what that can look like, how relationships can actually, you don't have to be attached to everybody that you go on a date with, that you can actually go on a date and like, you don't have to bring everyone into your life, right? I think it's actually a really important narrative to introduce to kids that like this whole like Disney princess love of first sight, like meet someone, fall in love, and like build a whole life with narrative is actually really unhealthy, incredibly toxic. And it's okay to talk to your kids about how being an adult and dating is about meeting different people and finding people that makes you feel safe and is compatible for you. Does that help, caller?
Okay.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. We'll see you later. All right, guys, that's a great question. The co-parenting question, right? How do you manage dating while you co-parent? That's a question. And someone else was just calling in, so I would love for you to give me a call back. Get back on the line, 877-7-Carlen, and ask me about your dating nightmares, dating and co-parenting, how that's a big different experience and a thing. Dating with dogs like Arthur. You know, dating with dogs and going on dog walks with people is actually like the number one date these days, right? Like a lot of people, I mean, that's what I do. I'm like, hey, let's go for a walk. If my dog likes you, then maybe I will. You know, I feel like dogs, animals are a very good judge of character. 877-7-Carlen, which is 877-722-7536. Toll free, completely free phone call. Give me a call. Let's talk about dating and co-parenting. Let's talk about your dating app nightmares. Let's talk about your love bombing stories. Because, you know, dating has changed. The world has changed. Dating apps have changed. And how we date has changed, right? Long gone are the days of like meeting, going to a coffee shop on the first date. A lot of people are FaceTiming now. And they're doing that kind of thing. And then they're going out on these dates with people. Let's hit up the social media team and see if we have any comments coming through on the social media team. A letter dating service, like a mail letter dating. So somebody online is saying that they met their wife online on a dating app, and someone else through a letter sending dating service. You know what dating service I miss? I miss the VHS. Was it the 80s or the 90s where you could like, I mean, I was too young, but I remember seeing the videos about this. I remember seeing the videos of like, so dating apps used to be, you would create a video of yourself on a VHS and then send it to a dating service. And then that dating service would then share your VHS with people. And then that's how you would like hook up with people, which is so wild and so interesting to think about, right? Like, I've never even heard of a social media team is telling me about 1-800 group chats. That's so amazing. I didn't know that was a thing at all. Dating has changed, and now it's apps. Are you using Tinder? Are you using Bumble? Are you using Hinge? Is it a different caliber of people on all of those apps? Are you post-divorce and now you're navigating dating and co-parenting? You know, one of the things that I hear from my patients who got married early, had their kids, and they're now divorced and are in, you know, their late 30s, 40s, or 50s, and they're doing this whole co-parenting thing. I think a lot of you have it down, to be honest with you. I think I'm still single, so as a single person, I don't have to worry about this, but I think a lot of you did it right. I think a lot of you were smart to have your kids with your mating partner in your 20s or early 30s, and then created this really great co-parenting strategy and are now out there and dating for fun, dating for hobbies, dating for excitement, dating to like have a good time, dating for your fulfillment. Because I think what happens quite often in relationships, and this is what I see with my own patients, is that people start dating early in their lives, right? And then they get married. They're like, let's get married and do that whole thing. But then they miss this whole like fun, excitement, sleeping around phase. And then once, you know, you kind of get a little bit crusty in your relationships. Some of you get crusty in your relationships, or you only got into those relationships because deep down you knew that that was only your mating partner and not your lifelong partner, right? And then you move on and you find these new and fun and fancy things. But the great thing is that co-parenting is like babysitting for your dating life built in. That's what I'm hearing from all of my patients, is that it's great. Every other weekend they have their kids, they plan their dates in and around that. But the problem is that when you find another co-parent and now you have to like figure out how to sync your schedules together so that you can date one another, that's a heck of an experience for sure. But it works. It's like built-in babysitting. Oh, I love that. So, are you out there? Are you dating? How is it going for you? Give us a call, 877-7-Carlen, toll free. Someone else was calling before, so I would love for you to give us a call back. There's been a couple calls that we've missed. 877-7-Carlen. Sorry, guys, only one person can call at a time. We are a new show. And we need you guys to start calling in and talk to me about your dating nightmares, co-parenting and dating, and all of the things that you have been experiencing while out there. I am dating, so I get what you're feeling and going through. Talk to me about where has been the most interesting place that you have actually met somebody or hooked up with somebody. I have a friend that used to, when he was single, would hook up with women from the grocery store all the time. Like, he was getting blowjobs in his car. Like, every week, this guy was calling me. He was like, guess what just happened? I'm like, how are you picking up people at the grocery store? This is amazing. The dog park, also a really great place to pick someone up. Just saying. Been there, done that. Arthur is my best wingman. My little Dachshund Arthur, who's here in the studio today. I don't know where he is, but he's around. And for those of you who are watching, you know, there's a lot of different apps for all kinds of people. So there's Tinder, there is Bumble, there is Grindr for all of my gay men out there, right? I was watching the new Pride LGBT stand-up comedy on the Netflix today, and they were talking about how Grindr is so great because Tinder is about responding to people, but Grindr is just about location, right? Because everybody on Grindr is DTF. So, like, that's why heterosexual people have it wrong. Like, heterosexual people are doing this thing where they, like, have to message each other and create this relationship, whereas Grindr is just based on, are you a meter or less than a kilometer away from you, and do you want to hook up? It's pretty interesting. And then there's also Thrinder. Thrinder was an app that was out there for threesomes, which is really interesting. I see a lot of like sex clubs, you know, who are out there and they have like online website dating profiles. FetLife is also a great place to hook up with people, especially if you're a little kinky, right? So FetLife.com is a great place to find other kinky people in your neighborhood, in your area that you can hook up with. Christian Mingle for all my God-fearing friends. J-Date. Yes, that's for all the lovely Jewish people. Do we have a cannabis dating app? I know that on Tinder you can now put, do you consume cannabis? But I'm asking my social team, I was like, wait a second, I don't think I did any research into that, is if there is a cannabis dating app. We're working on it here at the team, but I know on Tinder you can put, do you consume cannabis? So I do love it when people put in their profiles 420 friendly, because then I don't have to ask you if you're okay that I consume cannabis, that I'm a sex doctor who consumes cannabis. We got a few minutes left, friends. 877-7-Carlen, 877-722-7536. Give us a call with your questions about everything sex, love, relationships, cannabis, mental wellness. How do you disclose to somebody that you smoke or consume cannabis and you meet them for the first time, right? I've actually found that that's been a little bit of a source of like anxiety for me, right? Because so now I just put it in my bio. I just put 420 friendly in my bio. Therefore, it's like not a surprise. But that is a thing, is like how to negotiate telling somebody that you've just met or a new partner, hey, I consume cannabis. This is why. This is what it does for me. And how do you feel about that? I think that that's actually a really important thing to talk about, on one of your first few dates with somebody is, do you consume cannabis? How and why do you do it? Because a lot of people don't understand it. They don't get it. And there's still a lot of stigma around cannabis users for a lot of really weird reasons. So that's also important for all my cannababes out there, right? Disclosing. I actually had a guy stop talking to me because he found out that I consumed cannabis. I think it was the whole, like, you're a sex doctor who consumes cannabis thing. It's a little too much for him. But then again, that's not a throne that I want to sit on. So, you got to be down. You got to be down for all of this. This is an energy, friends. This is an energy. And that is what we're looking for. That's what I'm looking for. So we've got time for one more caller. 877-7 Carlen. 877-722-7536. Toll-free call. It's free. And let me know some of your dating stories before we wrap up tonight's show. All right. Oh, friends, we do. As of January 16, 2022, social media team just showed me that we actually do have single stoner apps, marijuana dating apps. Top 5 are My 420 Mate. Apparently, Plenty of Fish is still rocking. I don't know who is on Plenty of Fish still. It's not me. But it's definitely like the generation, like the elder millennials and then the generation above me. So like the 40 pluses, you guys are still rocking Plenty of Fish hard. And I commend you for that commitment. Jackie here, my producer Jackie told me that she's been to 3 Plenty of Fish weddings where people met on Plenty of Fish. That's amazing. Well, that makes sense. People do lots of affairs happening there, right? But Match, I don't know if this is Match.com, but it says Match may be a really good 420 friendly dating site for pot lovers. But like I said, Tinder also has that option now on it too. So, Jackpot, I see some comments here, is also a cannabis loving dating app. Thanks for that. Oh no, somebody's calling Jackie Jackpot. Sorry. I thought they were saying that was a dating app. Sorry, team. 877-7 Carlen. 877-722-7536. Ask me anything today about sex, love, relationships, cannabis, and mental wellness, including dating. We're talking all about dating, green flags, red flags, dating and co-parenting, dating after divorce, dating and just being single for a long time, dating in your 40s, dating in your 50s, dating in your 60s. What is that like for you now, right? Like the statistics are actually showing that a lot of women, because of inflation, if we really want, I need to get somebody on here to talk about inflation, the economic downturn that we're facing right now. But a lot of women are actually linking up, buying houses together because it's like impossible to get a mortgage these days because of interest rates, and buying houses and raising their kids together, and then just like cycling through their dates because they just don't have time for it. Isn't that interesting? The world is changing out there, friends. And dating today, now, in this moment, briefly post-pandemic-ish, at the tail end of it, is going to look very different in 5 years from now. Mark my words. I completely think that is true. 877-7 Carlen. 877-722-7536. Toll-free number. If I don't hear from you in the next minute, we're going to wrap this show up, my loves. And thank you for being here. And thank you to my amazing production team at Cannabis.wiki, Jackie Childs, Drew Childs, Megan, social media team and crew for being here, supporting our efforts with the launch of this show. Hi, Carlen. Thank you so much for being here. I hope your group chats are spicy tonight. I hope you guys have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. And happy dating to each and every one of you who are out there who are navigating this. If you want to slide into my DMs at Hi Carlen, HICARLEN, or at Carlen.Costa, ask me your questions. Go ahead. Let's set up and talk about it. And maybe I'll go live later and address it also. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Get your hearts up. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. And that's a wrap on tonight's show.